Hi, hello, welcome to class. My name is Fatou Doko, and I welcome you all to our long anticipated class on AI movie production, workflow, and editing using your phone and also your laptop as well. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing introduction to the class, and then we're also going to be looking at AI and why AI is very important in our present day world. And also, we're going to look at how we can also generate some stories. So, let me show you the things that we will be going through, and also why I should be the one to take you through this class, this AI um, master class. Okay, and also, it is also for beginners. So, let's dive into my screen. Let me show you everything here. Okay, so in the slide, we're already seeing the design of what we're doing, our AI movie masterclass. So we're going to go to next. And so, like I say, my name is Faklu Doko, okay, and I will take you to this class. Now, who am I? So let's see who am I and the things that I do. Few of them, not many, few of them, okay. So, okay, so this is me, okay. I'm your trainer for today, and throughout these 5 days AI class, okay, my name is Sanklu Doko, and I'm a filmmaker, an editor, cinematographer, content creator, web designer, YouTube channel manager, digital advertiser. I do Google Ad and also Facebook Ad and media training. I also do media training as well. Okay, and I'm the founder of Pushon School of Media and also the lead trainer at Pushon School of Media. Okay, so in this class we're going to be learning so many things. Okay, so let's go down our outline. So what are we learning in this training? What are the things that we'll be learning? So we'll be learning that the one will be going to introduction to AI and movie production, introduction to AI, movie production, story development. Okay, and the theme is going to be from idea to story, from idea to story. Okay, so the two will be looking at image generation and visual development, image generation and visual development, which is turning script into visuals, turning script into visuals. Then the three will be looking at AI video generation, okay, and AI movie workflow, okay, bringing image to life. We're going to bring our still image, bringing them to life on the day three. So it's something that we're going to take our time to learn. We're not rushing anything, okay. Though we know it's 5 days, okay. This training has been designed in order for us to meet everything that we're going to be teaching for these 5 days. Okay, the day four, be looking at professional editing using your laptop and your phone. Professional editing using your laptop and your phone, or you're going to learn how to edit professionally. Okay, and the very first thing we're going to do today is going to um help us to understand how we're going to edit, because like in movie there are three stages, which is the pre-production, production, and post-production. So if your pre-production is not good, is not well structured, your post-production will have issue. And the four is all about post-production. Okay, so the for the editing is in post production. So we're looking at the post production aspect of it. So if your post production is not working at all, forget it. Sorry, if your pre production is not working at all, forget your post production, because whatever you're going to do in post production is what you have created in your pre production, which is today. Whatever we're going to do today is what we have fed the four. Okay, so now the day five, we're going to be looking at movie distribution, branding, and monetization. Okay, movie distribution, branding, and monetization, which is turning your skills into income. Okay, it's very important. You need to know how to distribute your content that you're creating. The things that we're creating now, we need to distribute them. We're not creating them for ourselves. Okay, if you are here because you want to run adverts, okay, you are learning advert creation in order for you to be able to create adverts. Okay, so you need to learn how to distribute it. Though in this training we're not doing anything like Facebook ad, Google ad. No, we're not doing that. Okay, So it will be another training entirely for Facebook and Google. And if you want to learn that, we have a course on that, okay? And we've not been doing training on that, but if you want it, it can be one-on-one training. We take you through how to run Facebook and Google Ad effectively, okay, and how to convert. Okay, so very important, this day 5 is what you need. You, after creating the movie that you want to create now with this training, what are you going to do, okay, with the movie? Are you going to keep it in your shelf? Are you going to just keep it there, let it sit down, and you watching it alone your phone? No, you have to distribute it. The world has to see what you are creating, okay? So let's dive into the business of the day. So welcome to day 1. Like I said, today is day 1. We just did a preamble of everything that we will be learning. Okay, everything that we'll remember is a 1 hour training, but if time permits us, we can go above 1 hour. Okay, we can go beyond 1 hour if time really truly permits us. Okay, I want to see how far we can keep short the time within our for 1 hour training section. Okay, so today we'll be looking at from idea to story. We'll be looking at from idea to story. Okay, so I want to take you through the process of how you can turn your ideas into story. There are some things that you need to understand when it comes to idea generation. Okay, when it comes to idea generation, you don't just take anything and just put in the AI and think that the AI is going to give you what you want. Sometimes it does give you what you want when you just play with it, but when you understand it, you are specific. You go there and you say, AI, this is what I want, and the AI will give you what you want. Okay. So let's see. First of all, we are doing the introduction today. Okay, the introduction of AI movie production. Okay, like you see in our screen, AI movie production is a process of creating movies using artificial intelligence tools to generate script, image, video, voices, sound effect, and visual scenes faster and more creatively. Okay, so again, AI movie production is a process of creating movies using artificial intelligence tools to generate script, images, videos, voices, sound effect, and scenes faster and more creatively. Okay, so with AI, it's easy for you to just create thing. You don't need to learn the old way or the traditional way of writing stories. Okay, like me, I'm a script writer, right? I can write script from my head, but AI coming into the picture is making it more easier for filmmakers to write story without bugging their head too much. But like I usually say to people, you still need to develop your brain. Don't just depend on AI. There are times I have to write the story on my head. I don't need AI because AI don't know what I'm thinking or what is the story structure I'm building in my head, right? So you need to understand that this thing that I'm doing is more of a personal stuff. Okay, so it is from your head. Except you are that person that doesn't have story to write, but you have a concept in your head. So you have to tell the AI, this is what I want. I have a concept in my head. I want to put it this way. That is where we're going to be learning now. How you can tell AI to put what is in your head and prompt in the right way, so that at the end of the day you see what you put there. For me, most of the times when I send AI message and they send, I'll just like, I say, this is not what this is not what is in my head. That is why I prefer to write on pen. I love writing with pen and pen and paper, right? So that I can draft my ideas. So if AI is giving me something different, I am not going to take it. If it's giving me something better, I'll definitely take it because it's something better what I want. Okay, so in this training, every participant will learn how AI is transforming filmmaking and how to use AI together with laptop and mobile phones to create professional movie content from ideas to final production. Like I said, idea, that is the pre-production. Okay, so we have a stage called the development stage, right? And we have a stage before the pre-production. But everything, like in movie, we only have, I think, four. We have the pre-production, production, post-production, and the distribution. So we're actually covering this in this training. We're actually covering the four arms of movie production. Okay, the four arms, which is number one is the pre-production. Okay, the planning stage. Like I said earlier on, I've been saying it since in this training that if your planning, your operation stage is not effective, your post-production, which is the fourth part, we have issue. Okay, so you must be able to prepare your your journey before you even take the journey, right? You have to be prepared. You have to know, okay, I'm going for this journey, and then carry all the bags along with you, right? So that is why this is very important. Planning your story, know what you want in your head, then take action from it. Now, please don't worry. Today is we're just like preamble, just touching the head. From the second day, you're going to see more. Even today, you're going to see practical steps that we're going to take in building our AI content. You're going to see practical steps. So forget about everything now. Just pay attention to what I'm saying and take note. I believe you have your note with you. Take note, and then at the end of the day, you revisit your note again. If you have any question, you can actually leave it, okay, in the training platform. Then I will visit the question, then answer every questions that we have in our head. Okay, so let's move to the next slide that I have. So the next we're going to be looking at is story basics. Okay, so story basics is the foundation of every great movie. Okay, story basics. Storytelling is the foundation of every great movie. It involves creating engaging characters, interacting plot, interesting plots, emotions, and clear scenes that connect with the audience. Again, storytelling is the foundation of every great movie. It involves creating engaging characters, interesting plot, emotions, and clear scenes that connect with the individual. So, are you seeing that a storytelling, you must understand that it has to do with engaging characters. Okay, the character must be engaged. You must engage the character in whatsoever you are doing. You must engage the character, engage them whatsoever you are doing, and also having emotion, a good plot. Okay, so that is the basics of storytelling. And in storytelling, we also have structures. Okay, you have to understand that storytelling has structure. I'm going to see that in this training as well. So the next we're going to look at how to develop movie and advert idea. Very important. How can you develop a story or advert ideas? So many people cannot develop ideas. They lack that development, right? So what is story development? Developing movies and advert ideas start with identifying a message, emotion, or problem you want to communicate. Developing more again, how to develop movies and advert ideas. Developing movies and advert ideas start with identifying a message, emotion, or problem you want to communicate. What is the problem you want to communicate? What do you want to solve? Okay, what message you want to pass to people? You have to understand that message. Okay, then the question I want to ask is, what do you want to create? In this training, what do you want to create? You must have it in your mind that I want to create this in my head. This thing is in your head. Maybe this has been in my head since. Now, for example, we have the movie called Avatar. When Avatar season one or the one version came out, I think James Cameron also that did the movie. Now, when he wrote that script, it was years later that they produced the movie because why? The things in need, the gadget in need was not created. So he has an imagination in his head, but to produce that become a problem. Okay, for me, I have some script that I've written that I can't even do those here, but now with AI, I can be able to do it. Just imagine it. As far you can imagine it, okay, as far you can think it, imagine it, and write it out, you can achieve it. As far you can think it, you can imagine it out, and you can imagine it, write it out, you can achieve it. It's very simple. Okay. So if I'm thinking of a complex story, let's say for example, I want to scatter a building, a house, and originally it is impossible. As someone who have done VFS those years, we can break a building, destroy everything based on you build the thing, and it's going to take months for you to build. Like architect they do building structure, which is you do 3D. It's going to take you days to build a 3D structure, if not months to do a 3D structure. Then for you to put the stimulation that will stimulate it, then break down, because what break down is the stimulation, or we call it the rigging. Okay, you have stimulation and rigging in order for everything to scatter, the particle to scatter, and it's going to take you months, sometimes years. That is why you see most of these American films in those years comes out like 1 year after the shoot, because they have to build those other things that those elements in the movie. But in our present day now, in the AI world, you don't need those much budget again. And also to do those things cost money. For you to have a 3D modeler, somebody who will build the building, then you now have somebody who will rig it, because every department, every section in Hollywood has department, right? Now with AI, you can just go there and build a structure, tell AI need this 3D model it, and you know what? You can rig it within 1 day, break the structure within one. In short, it's not up to 1 day. You can do that, right, with the invention of AI. So again, if you can think it, imagine it, write it out, you can achieve it. If you can think it, okay, imagine it, write it out, you can achieve it. Okay, so let's go next slide. Writing cinematic story with AI assistant. Okay, which is very important. Which is the talking about the cinematic story. Is the story. Then you're going to develop the script. This is what we mean by writing out the cinematic stories and AI with AI assistant, because AI is going to help you to write the story. You don't If you don't know how to write story like myself, who knows how to write story, it's simple for me to pen down and write a movie. Okay, but for you who don't know how to, with the help of AI, you can just go there, put prompt, and then it will just generate the story for you. And then you can even tell the AI, please write it into screenplay, and then it's going to screenplay it for you as easy as that. Okay, so now, what when we say writing cinematic story with AI assistance, so what do we mean? Now this is what it means. A cinematic prompt is a detailed instruction given to an AI to create realistic movie scenes, images, or video. Again, a cinematic prompt is a detailed instructions given to an AI to create realistic movie scenes, image, or video. That means you take a prompt and then give it to the AI. Now, what that means is that as a human being, we give our head prompt, then we think it out. If I'm going to write a script, or I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to write something I want to write, okay, I'll first of all put it in my head, put that picture in my head, then paint the image out, then start penning what I'm seeing in my head, what is in my head, start putting it in paper. The same thing AI does for us. But now AI has not taken the human brain, so to say, take the human brain and start working something out for the human, and human beings are no longer thinking again creatively, except few of us who are doing training like this. We think out the prompt because we know what we want, and then when AI is not giving us what we want, we correct the AI, this is not what I want. I remember doing a design with AI, and then AI was giving me what I don't want. I told him, this is not what I want, please, this is what I want. Then he gave me what I want, because he now knows that I know what I want. Okay, what about somebody that doesn't know what you want, just put anything there, and when he give you what you don't want, you're like, but this is not what I want. But how do you now tell the AI to give you what you actually want? That is another thing again. Okay, so then under my, if you look the slide that is on your screen, I say before you can be able to write cinematic prompt, you must know or master cinematography, acting, and directing. Are you seeing that? Before you can be able to write a cinematic prompt, you must understand cinematography, acting, and directing. But good enough, good enough. Well, we are not going to be looking at directing and acting in this section. I'm not going to do that. That will be another, not even in this training. That will be another training that I'll be doing for those who want to learn directing and acting. But I'll be using some of those techniques for prompting. Then you can learn how I'm using those techniques to prompt the video that we're going to be creating. Okay, so now let's go. Now when we talk about cinematography, this is what we mean. Okay, cinematography is knowing and understanding camera shots, camera angle, camera movement, and lighting. Okay, cinematography is knowing and understanding camera shot, camera angle, camera movement, and lighting. Because if you know this thing, if you know the camera shots, the different shots that we have, okay, you can be able to tell the AI, this is the kind of shot I want. Okay, and then you will also tell the AI that this is the kind of movement I want. But good enough and blessed enough, we're going to do something quickly with this that will help us. Okay, now what we're going to do is that I'm going to help you, give you a system that will help you to generate the prompt effectively, and then you don't need those big knowledge, okay, like cinematography knowledge, what camera angle, you don't need it. But my system that I'm going to give you today, in this training, is going to help you generate different shot types without even cracking your head, okay, because I've already created the upfront for you. I've done the cracking of it. That is why you're in this class, right? So like I said earlier on the notes, we're not going to be doing directing and acting training in this whole training. We're not going to talking about acting, not directing. Okay, so let's see the next slide. The next slide is script structure for movie and advert. Okay, there are structure that you have to understand. There are structure in terms of writing scripts. Okay, and one of that is the opening, the conflict, the climax, and the resolution. Okay, again, the opening, the conflict, the climax, and the resolution. These four things are what every movies that you watch have in common. Either you are watching a romance movie, a sci-fi movie, an African epic movie, or an African romance movie, or Kinikon, whatever you're watching, they all have these four stages. They go through these four stages. If I'm writing with these four stages in my head. Okay, now we're going to look at what all this stands for and how you can identify them. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the opening. Okay, the opening is the introduction, or introducing the characters, setting, and the main situation of the story. It helps the audience understand the world of the movie and grasp attention from the beginning. Okay, have you ever watched a movie whereby you start the movie and you don't feel like leaving the movie? Okay, or have you watched a movie whereby at the beginning of the movie you say, "Kai, this movie now rubbish. I'm not going to watch them." Right? That is what it means. So if your beginning is not captivating, your ending will not. In short, people will not like to watch it. You don't want to make the mistake by saying that I'm going to put the best part at the end of the movie. Okay, put the best part at the beginning, so that best part will keep them watching through the nonsense that might be inside the movie, right? So that is what you want to do. Okay, so you must craft a good beginning for your movie. You must craft it. If your movie is going to be top notch, even your advert, if your advert is going to be top notch, you must create a suspense at the beginning so that people want to listen to what you are selling in your advert, because advert is all about marketing, selling. Okay, I do movie trailer a lot. So what you want to do is, how do you captivate the people? I do movie trailer, I do jingle. So your first sound or your first introduction will keep people glued to listen to the end. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. The conflict. Okay, the conflict. Now the conflict is a major problem, challenge, or obstacle that the character must face. This stage creates tension, emotion, and keeps the audience interested in the story. Okay, so this is a problem that you are creating. Okay, you are creating a challenge, you are creating obstacle. So again, the beginning you might create a fight scene. Why did they fight now? Now, when you come to the conflict, you begin to see a little bit of why they are having this fight. Okay, you begin to see, okay, this is because this person do this person took this person's wife, or stuff like that. Get. So the next one is the climax. That is the peak. We call that the peak. Okay, the peak moment when the action is so tense. Okay, like I'm working on an AI movie right now. I think the title is The Blinks. It's like The Blink. Okay, so I just said the title words. I'm done. I've done the first scene, second scene. So it's not, for me, creating a movie is a craft. If I'm like every other person who just go there and take an AI stuff and just create, I will create a movie within one day. But I create movie like a movie maker who I am, a professional movie maker when you do the shooting the first day, you every day you start looking at the movie and look what to fine tune in it. Okay. So that movie has been in my timeline since I've not even finished it. Okay. So the climax, that the part of that movie is a part that they capture the warrior's lover. Okay. And then fight breaks out. Okay, fight breaks out at the end of the day. So that is watch out for that movie. I'm not going to sell everything out now. So go to the next, the resolution. Resolution is very important. How do you settle the story? How do you end the story? Okay, Do you want to end it in a very bad note, an happy note, you want them to, embrace at the end of the day? Or the like in my story, I end it in a way that the warrior did not see his lover again. But funny enough, that movie is going to be a continuous process. When it drop, you're going to see the movie. Then I'm going to do an episode of that movie. So each of the scenes, each of the movie episode is not going to end. And let me tell you what it means. In movie production, we have what is called open script and closed script. Okay, or open story and closed story. Now, an open story is a story that you allow the audience to think. You don't close it. A closed story is that you conclude the story. Everybody know that the guy died, he died. She left the marriage stuff. But what happened at the end of the day? Why did she leave? Now, in my case, I might make the warrior, okay, to like after fight, sit down and start thinking his life. But the next episode, I will definitely bring the lady back again, but in another scenario. So that is what we call an open. People are going to think, but why is this warrior crying? But he fought. I think the lady is supposed to stay, right? So that is what the resolution is all about. Now, let's talk about character creation and dialogue writing. Character creation and dialogue writing is very important. So, if I want to say, if you're going to be a professional script writer, you must learn what's called script writing. So, you must learn what is called script writing. And script writing is more of work. But in this case, we're not going to be learning it. We're going to allow AI to do the work for us. Definitely, if you want to learn script writing, I have a course for that whereby you can learn how to write script professionally without using AI. But in this case, we're going to allow AI to do every work for us. Okay, so AI will be doing the work for us and writing the dialogue. Now, let me read what I have. Your character creation involves developing unique personality, emotion, background, roles for movie character. Dialogue writing focuses on creating natural and meaningful conversation that brings character to life and move the story forward. So, what it means is that you pick a character and you write about that character, right? You write a good plot about that character. You develop, we call it character development. You develop the character the way you want it. Is the character going to be wicked? Okay, that is the question you want to ask. Or is it going to be soft? So you give that character that softness, okay, or that harshness, or that warrior feel. You get. Then also you create a dialogue for him. Like, what will the character be saying? What are they going to be saying? Are they going to be just mute, or they are going to be speaking? Are they going to be loud, or they're going to be soft? Okay, that is what we call character development and with the dialogue. Okay, you must understand this. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So now, for the script writing and development, the story development and script writing, will be using ChatGPT. But then you can be able to use any other platform like Gemini or the co-host. But for me, I prefer using ChatGPT because why? Of its simplicity. Okay. Gemini in the other way, it's good for analyzing your story. Now, if you pen down a story, you can tell Gemini to analyze your story for prompts. Okay. But for me, I can do everything in ChatGPT. I don't want in this trend. I don't want us to go between different platforms. I'll show you few of them, and they are free that you can use. Okay, and ChatGPT can even give you the base image that you can use before you go for the advanced. Okay, can give you a base thing. I've been using it for months, and then I've been enjoying it months or years. I've been using ChatGPT to do some other things for years, but for months I've been used to generate script and then also to write prompt for image generation. Right, so it's good. Okay, so ChatGPT can help filmmaker develop movie script faster and more effectively by generating story ideas, writing scenes, creating dialogue, building characters, and improving storytelling structure. For example, if you write a story with your hand, you can give it to ChatGPT, say, please, I need to do it this way, and then it's going to work it the way you have assigned him to. Okay, if you have an idea, you can tell ChatGPT, this is what I want, and then it will give you. You can actually, let me shock you, you can actually write on paper and then snap your paper, tell ChatGPT to write what is snapped on the paper, and then it will write it out. That is great thing that you can do for you. Okay, this is just an example for those of you who write on paper. If you have your whole notes and you want to write it instead of typing it, just snap. ChatGPT will do the work for you. But the truth is that it has limits. Okay, it has daily limits. Okay, And one secret that you can use is that you can have multiple Gmail. I use that a lot. If I've exhausted my daily credit, I go switch to next Gmail. Okay, I have more than how many Gmail. And if you're doing AI movie like this and you don't want to pay for now, that you don't have money to subscribe, you can just have multiple Gmail whereby you can change when one expire, you change, and then you do your work. Thank you for joining the class. If you have any question, please leave it in the WhatsApp group. I will visit every question for today. So thank you for joining today. Tomorrow is another day. God bless us all. So please don't forget, ask your questions when you are done taking the class. Thank you.